So welcome to this lesson where we're going to focus on the bitter herbs. We're going to look particularly at these 6: wormwood, gentian, chamomile, burdock, dandelion and feverfew. I list off another 20 at the end that you can follow up on in your own time after this course. So let's begin with wormwood, one of the most bitter herbs and very useful herb for making bitter tonics. It was a key ingredient in drinks like Vermouth and absinthe. Absinthe was a very popular drink in the 19th century, especially in France, but it developed a reputation as a dangerous hallucinogenic drug, leading to the drink being banned. It is a valuable tonic for the digestive system as it stimulates appetite, promotes digestion, corrects many stomach disorders, and is an excellent nervine tonic. Its chemistry focuses on the bitter lactones, in particular artemisinin, flavonoids and glycocoids, and it is abundant in the volatile oil rich in taurine and pennine. There are many research studies, and here's a sample of a few, finding wormwood to help with killing bacteria, reducing the symptoms of Crohn's disease, reduces spasms in the intestines and the stomach, it reduces pain, relieves symptoms of arthritis, and also reduces symptoms of depression, working on the nervous system. Again, we need to be cautious with all herbs and should always consult a qualified herbalist. The parts used are the leaves and the flowering tops. Preparation are an infusion and a tincture. With the infusion, you pour a cup of boiling water onto 1 or 2 teaspoons of the dried herb and leave infuse for 10 to 15 minutes, and this can be taken 3 times per day. And with the tincture, it's 1 to 4 mils of tincture 3 times a day. The actions are bitter tonic, carminative, antihemolytic, anti-inflammatory. So that's wormwood. Let's now begin to look at gentian, another intensely bitter herb and very useful for making your own bitters formulations. These herbs, gentian and wormwood, will bring that strength of the bitter that you're looking for. Gentian, with its yellow flower, is known for its root more than its flowers. The plant, according to Pliny the Elder, a famous herbalist, in his book The Natural History, was named after Gentius, king of Illyria, who was the first to discover its medicinal powers. It was also recorded by the Greek doctor Dioscorides, author of the Materia Medica. The chemistry of gentian, known for its bitter compounds, which are iridides, glycosides, and the imago-gentian. Research studies also support gentian for killing bacteria, acting as a painkiller, reducing inflammation, helping with diabetes, reducing the symptoms of flatulence and gas and bloating, and acts as an anti-rheumatic and anti-neurologic remedy for external use. The part used is the root. Combines very well with ginger and cardamom, 2 pungent herbs that will give it that bit of extra flavour and depth. Decoction: put half a teaspoon of shredded root into a cup of water and boil for 5 minutes over a pot, and this should be drunk warm about 15 to 30 minutes before meals. The tincture can be taken 1 to 4 mils 3 times a day in water. The actions are bitter tonic, gastric, stimulant, antiseptic and antispasmodic. So now let's look at chamomile. Chamomile is more of a mild bitter, but aromatic, lovely flavour, lovely smells, nice mild bitter. Chamomile has been used for centuries as a soothing herb that induces a state of mild calmness. It is a classic remedy for children for everything from teeth pain to belly aches, and it can be used topically externally on rashes, eczema, sore eyes and itchy skin. If brewed at high strengths, it also helps to stimulate the gallbladder, ease digestion. It makes a great tea, and you can control the bitter flavour by strengthening the brew. It contains camozoline, a volatile oil, and also coumartins, a bitter flavonoid. Research studies support chamomile to have antibacterial activity, so good for balancing the gut health, antidepressive effects, good for lifting mood, anti-cancer effects, good for preventing cancer, helps with the symptoms of diabetes, has anti-diarrheal activity for diarrhea, and even helps with premenstrual symptoms. The part used are the aerial parts, the flowers. In the preparation as an infusion, The usual, we pour a cup of boiling water onto 2 teaspoons of dried flowers and let infuse for 10 to 15 minutes. This can be drunk after meals as a digestive aid. The tincture can be taken 1 to 4 mils 3 times per day. And there's the actions: antispasmodic, carminative, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic and analgesic, so good for pain. Next we look at burdock. Burdock is mildly bitter, a soothing and demulcent, so a softening herb. Burdock provides a softening to the main bitter flavors and pungent notes. It adds a nut-like flavor. Its root has a rich nutritional profile and is very nourishing and food-like. Being well nourished encourages good health and supports access to your own vitality. It's a perfect ally for helping you to dig deep to pull on your inner resources. It is useful to cleanse the blood and support organs to detoxify. Burdock supports the liver and it provides starches which our gut flora loves. The chemistry of burdock contains traces of volatile oils and small amounts of bitter sulfurous polyacetylens. The research to support burdock in the treatment of diabetes, to reduce the symptoms of osteoarthritis, it protects the liver, acts against tumours, so protects against some cancers, helps with metabolic syndrome including obesity, and is good for skin issues. The root is the main part used. Combines well with yellow dock, red clover and cleavers, and it's prepared as a decoction. So again, you put a teaspoon of the root into a cup of boiling water, bring it to the boil and simmer for 10 or 15 minutes, and this should be drank 3 times per day. The tincture is taken 1 to 4 mils of tincture 3 times per day. The main actions are alterative, diuretic and bitter. And next we look at dandelion. Dandelion is used as a gentle digestive bitter. We know dandelion as both a weed to be pulled or one of the safest, gentlest and most reliable bitter herbs. The bitter constituents of dandelion increase bile flow and act on appetite stimulant. It is rich in minerals containing calcium, magnesium and potassium. Bioflavonoids in the leaf and root and lactones provide the bitterness. The root can be made into a tincture. Chemistry of dandelion. So it's rich in minerals, especially the leaf, including lots of calcium, magnesium and potassium. The bioflavonoids in the leaf and the root and the lactones from the white latex provide the bitterness. And the research for dandelion is that it helps to treat diabetes, protects the liver, boosts immunity, protects against antiviral activity, so it's good for the immune system, produces an antioxidant activity, so it's cleansing, detoxing, and protects against cancer. It's the root that's used, sometimes in combination with barberry or yarrow. It's used as a decoction. So you'll see the trend here with roots. We're looking for decoctions. Again, bring to the boil, simmering, and tincture 5 to 10 mils 3 times a day. Its actions are laxative, diuretic, and bitter. And finally, we look at feverfew, a cooling bitter remedy. All bitters are cooling, and that's why they combine well with pungent herbs, which are heating. Feverfew was once used to treat fever and is now a standard remedy for tension, headache and migraine. Research has confirmed the herb's effectiveness after a Welsh doctor's wife found feverfew cured her 50-year-long history of migraine. The anti-inflammatory action is useful in treating arthritis, aches and pain. Feverfew contains lactones including partenolide along with pinene and boreol in the volatile oil. The research for feverfew is that it's anti-inflammatory, supports cardiovascular health, protects against cancer, helps relieve migraine headaches and acts as a sedative. It's the leaf that is used and often combined with willow bark and devil's claw, also good for pain. It's best prepared as an infusion, best used fresh or frozen 1 to 3 times a day. The tincture 3 to 5 mils 3 times a day. It acts as anti-inflammatory, digestive, bitter and relaxant. And finally, the list of 20 other bitter herbs that you can look at in your own time. They include mugwort, yarrow, neem, peppermint, angelica, common sorrel, centaury, milk thistle, cinnamon, valerian, golden seal, hoarhound, black walnut, cacao, coffee, Devil's Claw, Hops, Oregon Grape, Sarsaparilla and Myrrh. So that brings us to the end of our introduction to the bitter herbs. We'll look at them again when we're making different formulas, and we'll see you in the next lesson.